Hi, I'm Michael, and this is California. And over the last few months, we've seen multiple cities open up their rental assistance programs. But finally, Los Angeles is going to open up their application for their rental assistance program to help those Los Angelinos who have been hit hardest by the pandemics and the lockdown. So starting on Monday, July 13th, that's next Monday, Los Angeles will be accepting applications via online or over the phone starting at 8 a.m. sharp. But there's only a very short window of 5 days to apply because the application window ends July 17th at midnight. So if you live in Los Angeles and you are behind on your rent for 1 or more months, this program is designed to help you. So today we're going to discuss the Los Angeles Rental Assistance Program, who is eligible for the program, and how someone can apply. Now before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it interesting, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So let's do a quick overview of the Rental Assistance Program. So under the CARES Act, which got passed in March, cities and states across the country were designated money to help provide assistance to renters who are unable to pay rent because their work had been forced to close under the lockdowns and the pandemic. And the federal government set aside huge sums of money. $17 billion actually was set aside for states and cities to set up rental assistance programs. Now, previously we talked about cities here in California like Pasadena, Ventura, Riverside, and they all got upwards of around $33 million, which is a lot of money for these programs. But Los Angeles, being the second largest city in the country, has received $103 million that they will begin distributing to the expected 50,000 households in Los Angeles. They will be distributing this money once all the applications has already been submitted through the Los Angeles Housing and Community Investment Department, who is responsible for the Emergency Rental Assistance Subsidy Program. At least one more time, as I mentioned earlier, the window for the application will be short. In fact, it'll only be 5 days from July 13th at 8 a.m. to July 17th at 11:59 p.m. But luckily, Los Angeles learned from other programs and designed the program to be a lottery. This means it is not first come, first serve, so you don't have to be the first person to apply. Also, being the first person to apply doesn't mean that you're going to get chosen. It doesn't give you a better chance. You have the same chance as somebody who applies first as you do if you apply last. Now, the applications will only be chosen after the application period is over. So in theory, you have the same chance as someone who applies on July 13th at 8 a.m. as you would if you applied July 17th at 11:58 p.m. But please do not wait till 11:58 p.m. to apply. Now, if you are selected for the rental assistance, the subsidy will provide a grant of up to $1,000 per month to cover the monthly leased rent based on the rent paid as of March 1st, 2020, with a maximum of $2,000 per household. And the money will be paid directly to your landlord for back month's rent. Now, if your application is not selected though, then you will get notified and put on a waiting list in the case that more funds become available. So let's talk about who is eligible for the LA Rental Assistance Program. The eligibility requirements are pretty straightforward. First, to qualify, you must live within the city of Los Angeles and live in a multi-family property. So unfortunately, at this time, single-family properties are not eligible to apply. Also, as a side note, there is no citizenship requirement, which means a household is able to apply regardless of citizenship status for assistance. Now, second, a household must be able to prove that they are actually tenants in Los Angeles, and they can do this with something like a lease, a written rental agreement, or a notice issued by your landlord. Third, a household must be below the income limit, which is set at 80% of the area median income. Now, if you don't know what that is, and why would you? Most people probably wouldn't. For a household of 4 people, the income limit is at $83,500 a year for income that was prior to the pandemic. And finally, you need to be able to show that you have reduced income as a result of the pandemic. Now, of course, just in case you didn't get all that, I'll put a link down below so you can go to the website and review the specifics of the eligibility rules when you have a little bit more time. So there are 2 main ways that someone can apply for the rental assistance if they think they are eligible. The first way is to apply online when the application opens. I will put the application down below, but the application is available in English and Spanish and many more languages. Now, if you don't have a computer or you're uncomfortable using a computer, tenants will be able to apply from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. over the phone. And I'll put the phone number down below as well. Now, one very important note is that only tenants may apply for the program, so landlords cannot apply for their tenants. But once the application is completed, either over the phone or online, you will get an application confirmation number. And it is absolutely important that you save this number because it will be used to track the progress of your rental assistance application. Now, if you provide an email address, the confirmation number will also get sent to your email address. And if you submit the application online and you don't see a confirmation number, then it means your application was not received. So it is great to see that Los Angeles has finally gotten their rental assistance program going. And I guess better late than never, right? But either way, it is a great opportunity to help 50,000 Los Angelinos who are struggling to pay their rent because of the lockdown and the pandemic. It's also important to notice that Los Angeles is focusing on ensuring that the program is fair and equitable by not making it first come, first serve. Since experience from other programs shows that it's not always the first people who apply who need the most help. And I sincerely hope that they're able to get more funds for this program because although it's going to help 50,000 people across the city, it's still not going to be nearly enough. But if you or anyone you know is having a hard time paying for rent or is already behind, please make sure that you pass this information on to them so they can apply, because they will only have 5 days to do it. Thank you so much for watching our videos, and I hope that you found them interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. We love to see your comments and questions, and we'll be happy to make a new video or a new post as soon as we can. Now, finally, we here at California, we know health insurance. So whether it's private health insurance or Covered California or Medicare or Medicaid or Medi-Cal or even health insurance for a small group, we know health insurance. And I know it can be very complicated coming out of your work insurance and having to go into private health insurance. Or maybe you're turning 65 and you're trying to figure out what is the best Medicare option for you that fits your needs as well as your budgets. Or maybe even you're coming out of a government program like Medicaid or Medi-Cal and now you have to get health insurance on the private side. We can help with all of that. So if you have questions about your healthcare, please leave it down below. We'll make a new video or a new post to go over that as well. Now, other than that, I am Michael, and this is California, wishing you a happy, healthy day.